So, are the gods real? That's a question probably many of you have asked. Maybe, maybe just on the inside. Maybe also on the outside. Maybe you've asked forums this question, are the gods real? What kicked this video off for me was a message that I got on my Dutch Pagans Instagram. Just a very short and powerful message. One sentence. The guy said, "Prove to me your gods are real." That's it. Felt very explosive. You know? Explosion is also powerful. Doesn't last a long time. Not very consistent. So I started to think about this. Like, how do I answer this question? Well, that is what this video is about. How do I answer if the highest ideal of courage and strength is real? Because that's what Thor, the god of thunder, represents to me. How do I convince somebody that the highest ideal of wisdom, what Odin represents, is real? How do I tell somebody that the highest ideal of beauty is real? You know, for me, these are real, and the results I have with them, because I believe these highest ideals are something to strive towards, and I believe it is such a high ideal that you probably will never reach it. But there's merit in trying alone. We can better ourselves. So those betterments are results, and that's real, but that wasn't his question. His question wasn't if the results are real. His question was if the gods themselves are real and if I can prove it to him. For me, that's like asking me if I believe the grass is real, if I believe the thunder in the sky is real, if I believe the wind is real, if I believe those two ravens that I saw just before I wanted to record this video were real. Because that's where I see the gods. That's where I sometimes feel that they are here. But that's also not his question. His question isn't if there are representations or avatars or where you can see reflections or something come out from there. He asked me specifically, prove your gods are real. And I think that question comes from a certain mindset. I believe the mindset that influenced that question is a Christian way of thinking. Even if maybe he's not a Christian, I don't know this guy. What he's actually asking with that question is there a peer-reviewed scientific paper? Is there a scientist, a doctor, a politician, an expert? Is there anybody? Is there somewhere a surrogate father figure who can help me make sense of this crazy world? And I believe that's what he's really asking. And I believe that's part of Christian thinking because, you know, especially in Christianity, there's a lot of kneeling. Also in Islam, there's a lot of kneeling, but there's a lot of kneeling and there's an emphasis on salvation. Jesus will come back one day. You know, sometimes I think this Christianity stuff just makes you passive. I sometimes think that this Christian way of thinking is like spiritual welfare, you know? Not like welfare with the money, but it's spiritual welfare. Because, like, you know, welfare, we have a welfare system in Holland, and it's lovely that it's there. But for some people, it can also help to keep them docile, you know? I believe Christianity can make you spiritually docile. But there's this emphasis on just waiting and salvation will come. There's this passive element in it. And I still see that everywhere in society, that we wait for experts and things outside of ourselves, which isn't always bad, but sometimes it really is. So I would like to, I'm getting an itch because the sun's going down and there are mosquitoes everywhere here now. But that question, are the gods real? I would like to ask a question back, and I would like to rephrase that question. What do you want to be real? Paganism isn't about sitting on your ass and asking other people to define what is real for you. Paganism is making up your own mind and walking your own path. Do you want to live in a world where you see beauty, like these flowers behind me, as a direct gift from a higher entity? Do you want to live in a world where there are high ideals that you can strive towards, that govern the world, where there are natural laws that help us live in a good way? Do you want to live in a world like that? Or do you want to live in a world where everything is just easily understandable, where everything is nuts and bolts, where there's no magic holding everything together, where everything is just ones and zeros? Is that what you want? Because that's what paganism is, deciding. It's having the balls to decide your own path. Because if you decide that the highest ideal of wisdom, what Odin represents for me, is real, and you work towards that, and you say, I'm not going to let anybody influence me too much. I'm going to make up my own mind, and I'm going to walk my own path. You start working to your ideal of courage, and you start working that path, I guarantee that the gods will come and see you. I guarantee that they will come down from Asgard or wherever they are right now, and they will show them to you personally. And you know why? Because you have proven yourself worthy of those gods. So, are the gods real? If you want it, they can be real. Dat is mijn uitspraak. Daar moet u het mee doen. I'll see you next week.